Into the playoffs we go now over in the Champions League with 16 clubs trying to duke it out to get through to the official knockout stages where, of course, the top 8 teams will be waiting to see who will come through. Today, we're going to take a look at the first legs. Who's going to come out on top? We'll get into that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today is all about the Champions League playoffs first legs, and we'll get to that in a second. If you're new where you've been, hit the old subscribe. You want to stop shop for Champions League, Blackburn Rovers, World Football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski. That's right, 8 clubs will go through to join the top 8. And today we're going to kick it all off with the first legs of the playoffs. And we have 8 fascinating matches to dig our teeth right into. We'll get into those in a minute. Big shout out to the members. Big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. But what we're going to do now, though, is revisit those last round of games in the group stages to see what went on in the group stages. So sit tight, hold on. Here we go. Alrighty then, folks, let's turn the clock back to this past match day in the Champions League, the final group games, and these were those, of course. Real scorelines on the left, my predictions were on the right. Bayern coming out on top with a 3-1 win over Slaven Bratislava. I went with a 3-0 win. Dortmund did beat Shakhtar 3-1 win. I went with a 2-1 win. Barcelona and Atalanta with a 2-2 draw. I went with a home win. Inter with a 3-0 win over AS Monaco. I went with a 2-0 win. Man City did beat Brugge in the end, 3-1 win. I went with a 3-0 win. Leverkusen with a 2-0 win over Sparta Prague. I went with a 3-1 win. Juventus losing to Benfica. I went with a draw. Zagreb with a 2-1 win over AC Milan. I went the other way. Lille with a 6-1 win over Feyenoord. I went with a draw. PSV, I know, went with a 3-2 win over Liverpool. I went the other way. Salzburg did lose to Atletico 4-1. I went with a 1-0 win. Sporting Lisbon with a draw against Bologna 1-1. I went with a 2-1 win. Young Boys Bern lost to Red Star Belgrade. I went with a draw on that one. Aston Villa did beat Celtic 4-2, got that one spot on the nose. Girona did lose to Arsenal 2-1 win, got that one spot on the nose. Brest lost to Real Madrid 3-0 win, got that one on the nose. Meanwhile, Sturm Graz with a 1-0 win over Leipzig. I went the other way. And PSG with a 4-1 win over Stuttgart. I went with a 3-1 win in the end. So what did that do? What did that do to the table? Well, have a look at it then, guys and girls. Here we go. These are the teams that are eliminated. Their journey is over. Probably the biggest losses here are Bologna out of Italy, RB Leipzig out of Germany, Stuttgart as well out of Germany, Girona as well. Their journeys are over. Meanwhile, these are the teams that I've been duking out in this video. We've got some absolute banging clubs in here and some absolute cracking games to look forward to. We'll look at those in a minute. But the final 8, these guys are taking it easy for a couple of weeks. Liverpool, Barcelona, Arsenal, Inter, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Lille and Aston Villa. That's right. So easy street for those guys. A quick look now at the Super Brew then, shall we? Alrighty then, of course, last weekend, or last time around, Gaffer Putner picked up a massive 20 points for him. Macca as well, 19 points, as did I, 19 points as well. Dream Marley also kicking ass and taking names, Yafa VMPP, and then some at 2018. If you see your name in there, please smash your like, smash your subscribe. The overall leaderboard looks a little bit like this, though. It's Pim Predict, 138, Yafa VMPP up alongside him, 130. Hans Worst is in the bronze at the moment. I'm all the way down to 8th, but a big mover, up 4 spots, so I'm in it. I'm in it for the long haul, guys. Sit tight, hold on, keep predicting, of course, as we like to see what goes on in the next round of games, of course. But what about, of course, the next round of games? Well, we'll showcase you those in a second. A quick look now at, of course, the teams that will make it, or have made it through to the playoffs, and of course those teams waiting in round 1, the official knockout stages. So here they are, starting with the teams in the playoffs. We've got Celtic, we have Rangers, Stade Brest, cheeky, Feyenoord, Sporting Lisbon, or Sporting, coming out of Portugal, PSV, Manchester City, Club Brugge, Bayern, PSG, Juventus, Dortmund, we got Benfica, Monaco, Milan, and Atalanta. And waiting in the wings, these 8 clubs, Barcelona, Villa, Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, Arsenal, Liverpool, Lille, and Internazionale. So that's the teams and their situations currently in the Champions League format. These are the games, guys. Of course, we've got some absolute crackers, 8 of them, 2-legged affairs. The first leg's coming at you this weekend. We're going to start with an old French one. Oh, bonjour, bonjour. Over in Brest, that's right. As Brest entertained PSG at the Stadio du Rue de Rue. Brest under Eric Roy, 18th in the table. They finished with 13 points for the campaign. 3 wins and 3 defeats in the last 6. They're rocking 50% form up against PSG under Luis Enrique, finishing 15th at the table with 13 points for the campaign. They are unbeaten in at least the last 15 games. Haven't lost any of the last 9 away, coming into on 92% form. They played Brest 20 times to 2010. 10. No wins for Brest, 18 wins for PSG. There's been 2 draws between the two sides. They've already played each other twice this season in the league. PSG winning both legs, including the leg in Brest. 5-2 it was back in, when was that? That was back on the 1st of this month. So they were fresh opponents. Brest on the back of a 2-1 win over Troyes in the Coupe de France, round of 16. PSG beating Le Mans as well in the same competition. The odds right here, right now, PSG massively fancied. Going with a 3-1 win for PSG. They should win this one. And again, probably already looking ahead to their first playoff match as well. Kicking on forward, Brugge against Atalanta. That's next. That's actually taking place on Wednesday, February the 12th, at the Jan Bardel Stadium. Brugge under Nicky Hayden, 24th in the table, 11 points for the campaign. Winless, though, in the last 5 with Atalanta under Giampiero Gasparini. They wear similar sort of kits, these guys. Atalanta, though, winless in the last 3. They finished 9th, just outside the top 8 with 15 points. Never played each other, these two clubs. Coming into this, Club Brugge on the back of that 1-1 draw against Genk in the BNVB Belgian Cup, their semi-finals. Meanwhile, Atalanta losing to Bologna in the Coppa Italia quarter-finals. Busy weekend in action for both of these two clubs domestically, but the bookies for this, they go with Atalanta. I'm not too sure. I was impressed with Club Brugge. I know they lost to Man City, but I think if they're singing for the same hymn sheet, especially in Belgium, they're going to come out of this with something. So I'm going to go with a draw myself on this one. Then we go to one of the spiciest games, if not the spiciest game in this competition. It's Manchester, it's Real Madrid, it's at the Etihad. A lot on the line here. These two guys are, when we look at the odds at the end, will probably still be in that top 4 to win the trophy. Man City finishing 22nd in the table in the league here with 11 points, 2 defeats in the last 6 against Real Madrid, who finished 11th with 15 points, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They played each other 14 times in 2012, 5 wins apiece and 4 draws. Last time around at this very venue, it was a 4-3 penalty shootout victory for Real Madrid. Man City only winning once at the last 5 against Real Madrid, and they're coming into something like that 5-1 stuffing by Arsenal, taking on Leyton Orient this week in the Cup. So good preparation, potentially rest a few players. Meanwhile, Real Madrid on the back of that 3-2 win over Leganes in the Cup del Rey quarter-finals. They're taking on the Madrid derby this weekend. Wow, what a busy few days for Real Madrid. The odds on this one, Man City are favoured for the victory here. I think I'm just about giving it to them. 3-2 win on the night. Remember, it's a 2-legged affair, guys. So we'll be back for the second legs in Madrid next time around. Meanwhile, Juventus up against PSV coming at you over at the Allianz Stadium in Turin. Juventus under Thiago Motta. He's been given an extended run here because a lot of people would have thought he would have been binned off by now. 20th in the table, just 1 win the last 4, 2 wins the last 6. 12th in the table, of course, 12 points. 20th in the table, 12 points. Up against PSV, Peter Boas, the coach, unbeaten in the last 5, 14th in the table, 14 points for the campaign. Played that just the one time. It was in this year's competition. It was in Turin. It was a 3-1 win for Juventus. Juventus on the back of a 4 win over Empoli. Meanwhile, PSV on the back of a 2 win over Feyenoord and the KVB Becker quarter-final stages in the Dutchlands. The odds for this one, though, what are we looking at? Juventus are massively fancied on this one. PSV, the underdogs. I think it might be one of those. Yeah, I think Juventus just about edge it. 2-0 winners. But the second leg might cause us a problem. We'll see about that. Meanwhile, Feyenoord, another Dutch team, up against AC Milan, coming at you over at the Stadion Feyenoord. Feyenoord under Brian Prisk at the moment. They ended in 19th for the table, 13 points for the campaign. Coming into this, though, just 1 win the last 5, 3 defeats on the spin. Grim stuff. Up against Milan, though, just 1 defeat in the last 5. They finished 13th with 15 points. Coming at you, PSV did beat Feyenoord in the KMV Becker quarterfinals. We just talked about that. Milan pick up a 3-1 win over Roma in the Coppa Italia quarterfinals heading into this one. The odds right here, right now, Feyenoord are unfancied. Milan fancied on this one by their bookies. I'm not too sure, though. I think for the first leg, going to go with a 1-0 win for Feyenoord because AC Milan have been a little bit iffy. They've not been what they want to be in Italy, so I think Feyenoord will have them in this first leg. Meanwhile, Celtic will take on Bayern over in Glasgow on Wednesday, the 12th of February at Celtic Park. Brendan Rodgers, 21st in the table with 12 points for the campaign. They've 1 defeat in the last 6. They haven't lost any of the last 33 home matches. Bayern, of course, with Vinny Company, just 1 defeat in the last 6, winning 5 of those last 6. They finished 12th with 15 points. Of course, coming at you, played 4 times since 2003. 3 wins Bayern, 1 draw, nothing for Celtic in the win column. Last time around at this very venue, it was a 2-1 win for Bayern back in October 2017 in the Champions League. It was in the group phase. Celtic on the back of that 6-0 win over Dundee. They've scored 9 goals in the last two games combined. Bayern scoring 7 goals in the last 2 games combined, conceding 4 though on the back of a 4-3 win over Holstein Kiel most recently. The odds right here right now, Celtic massively out-fancied Bayern, should win this one. Going to go with a 3-1 win. Again, they might be able to take it easy in the second leg. Into the last couple, we have Sporting up against Borussia Dortmund over at the Estadio Jose Alverde. Lisbon under Rui Borjas. They are 23rd in the table, 11 points for the campaign, just 1 defeat in the last 5. 58% form under Niko Kovac's Borussia Dortmund, unbeaten in the last 3 back-to-back wins. They're coming into this, finishing in 10th with 15 points for the campaign. They played 4 times in 2016, 1 for Sporting, 3 for Dortmund. No draws between the two sides. Last time around at this very venue, it was a 3-1 win for Sporting back in November 2021. Sporting on the back of that 3-1 win over Firenze in the Portuguese top flight. Dortmund on the back of a 2-1 win over Heidenheim. They're taking on Stuttgart this weekend. Lisbon, Sporting taking on Porto in a bit of a spicy Portuguese encounter. Bookies find it tight, but they give it to Sporting only just. I'm going the other way, 2-1 win. I just don't think Sporting are that good at the moment. 2-1 win, upper hand for the Germans. And then wrap it up. It's Monaco, it's Benfica, it's Camacho over at the Stade Louis II. Monaco under Adi Hütter, 17th in the table, 13 points for the campaign. They won 3 out of the last 4. Benfica under Bruno Laga, winning 4 of the last 6, 16 points in the campaign, 16th in the table, 13 points for the campaign. They played 4 times in 2010. 3 wins Benfica, nothing for Monaco. 1 draw between the two sides. Last time around at this venue back in November 2024, it was in this year's competition. It was a 3-2 win for Benfica, and they're also coming into on the back of a 3-2 win themselves over Estrela and Mordara in the Portuguese top flight. Meanwhile, Monaco with a 4-2 win over Auxerre in the Ligue 1 encounter. The odds for this one, though, Monaco are fancied on this one. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, point apiece. In this one. So that's my predictions, of course, for the first legs. Quick look at the minutes for the odds. The top 3, Barcelona 3rd favourites to win the Champions League, Barcelona 2nd, and Liverpool are top bins, with Real Madrid are 4th, but they've got to get through a very, very spicy 2-league affair. But that's it, guys. We'll be back for those second legs very, very soon. Of course, I think it's pretty much a week after these games, so make sure you subscribe, smash the like, catch you later. Until then, we're done.